everybody, and welcome back to the Something Simple podcast. I'm your host, Alex, also known as Ken, and I'm joined by Ashley, also known as Ken.
Well, which Ken?
I don't know. Which Ken do you want to be?
If we were Kens, what would like our Ken be? Like, you know, you have like Dr. Ken, Beach Ken.
He's just like, that's the thing. Barbie's the one who gets to do all the cool shit, and he's just Ken.
But
so I'm sorry, but we're just Ken. I mean, you could be Alan if you want. That's fine.
You mean the discontinued?
Yeah, the discontinued time. I think I've just like relegated you there, haven't I?
Yeah, you're just like, fuck you, I don't like you. You're not
Fuck
Ken's
you.
friend anymore. We're getting rid of you.
Now, what's going to happen now is this podcast is just going to be hosted by me because I've discontinued Ash, as we just saw.
But it's just you playing different versions of yourself, aka different versions of Ken.
So it's just me being a schizophrenic on a podcast, is what you're saying. I'm having two-way conversations with myself.
A silent patient Ken.
Oh, God. Right. So we're back again. Lo and behold, who would have thought it? We actually made it to a second episode.
I know. That's it. Man.
That's it now. Yeah. So I see peak. But I think this week we're gonna keep it a bit simpler.
Hey.
That was not intentional.
Yeah,
I think we're just gonna like recap what's happened in like the last week, because a lot has happened in the last week, and we really struggled to come up with an episode theme for today.
Yeah, it was tough.
So I feel like we're gonna break it down as we usually do. We're gonna start with the news, but then we're kind of gonna look at more news, but it's gonna be more trailer focused of trailers that came out in the last week, and we're gonna give our little thoughts on them and everything.
Yeah. There is a little teaser towards the trailers that happened. Someone cooked here. That's all I can say.
The running joke of the week: someone cooked you.
Yeah, that has been the consistent meme that has been sent with every trailer. Except for, was there one trailer you didn't attach it to? But we'll go into that.
It was the Secret Invasion trailer, and that's because I hadn't started doing the joke yet.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not indicative of the quality of trailers.
But let's start with just a few news stories, just to get through them. First of all, Paddington in Peru begins filming on July 24th, which is seemingly Paddington 3, which I didn't even know was happening. That's absolutely crazy.
That is wild.
Paddington 2 is down as my favorite. Yeah. It's down as my favorite movie on Letterboxd.
I've heard good things about Paddington 2. I've heard a lot of good things about Paddington 2.
Paddington 2 is peak cinema, and it is Pedro Pascal's third favorite film of all time, according to
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Look at that, baby! It's a callback to last week.
Yeah, when they said that, I was like, "Hey, it's Paddington 2." The Leo pointing meme.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. So yeah, I have been meaning to watch it. I've seen, what's the scene? I think it was the prison cafeteria scene that
Knuckles McGinty, played by Brendan Gleeson. I mean, both Paddington films are absolutely fantastic.
I do like the first Paddington. I always remember the one joke where it's a van that says taxi, and then when he moves the sliding door over, it says taxidermy. That's the one joke I remember. It's great.
Like, they are like the epitome of just films that just everyone can enjoy, like regardless of your age. They are just legitimately great, and I didn't know a third one was happening, and I'm absolutely stoked. Day one, I will be seated in my suit, my 3-piece suit.
I'll have the. Are you gonna wear the hat?
I'm gonna wear the red hat. Yeah, I'm gonna have big, like, thick frame Martin Scorsese glasses on as well.
Cinema on God.
On God. Our next news story is one that really annoyed me when I read it. And it annoyed me for several reasons. So
I'm not looking at the news, so this is quite entertaining. You are telling me all this.
One sec. I'm gonna learn how to pronounce this person's name first before we carry on, because I don't want to do it wrong.
We do research on the podcast, just while we film it. Film? Record.
Gosh, oh my God almighty.
Am I holding the line?
Do you know what? No, I'm not going to look how to pronounce it. I'm just going to credit her as girl who plays Moana.
Okay, that's...
Dwayne Johnson and girl who plays Moana, because I'm too afraid to try and pronounce her actual name, will return for Disney's live-action Moana remake.
The hierarchy of the Disney universe is about to change.
I know we praised Scott Pilgrim for coming back as but it's the other way. It's gone from live action to animated.
Yeah, but
it's got the original. What's the point in this, Ash?
I don't understand, because
this film isn't it's not even a decade old.
No, Scott Pilgrim did not make money. For one, it is a cult film, basically. It's a cult hit. Didn't make the money at the box office, and they thought, we can do more with this in this animated format that sort of mirrors I imagine it's going to mirror the style of the graphic novels. So there's some evolution there. There's something that it adds to that. But this doesn't add anything.
If anything, this is kind of reductive.
Yeah,
as all of the Disney live action remakes are kind of reductive.
I mean, I kind of like the Jungle Book. I do really like the Jungle Book.
I'm more like Lion King was pretty naff.
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast isn't anything to write home about.
Tell us all the time.
But the second thing that annoys me about this is that Dwayne Johnson is in it. Why? I don't need to see him in live action as Maui. Animated Maui was already pretty good. I don't need to see just him.
Yeah.
I don't just need to see him playing another one of his characters, if that makes sense.
Yeah, we don't need it. We really don't.
What are the chances that he's wearing? What are the chances he's wearing the tan button-up shirt with the really short sleeves and the cargo shorts? He's baby oiled up to the nines.
Of course, that man is always baby oiled up.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. Just make a sequel to Moana. I wouldn't even be mad if you did that. And I know I'm not the biggest proponent of Disney sequels ever, but I wouldn't even be mad if you just made a sequel to Moana instead of doing this.
Yeah, Moana 2, Return of Jafar.
Oh, Christ.
But yeah, but yeah, just make a sequel. It's a lot... You won't have so many people on your back, and it's not as reductive to make a sequel, which adds on to someone's story rather than just takes it and does it again, but in a less interesting medium.
Heaven forbid, get Lin-Manuel Miranda to write a third musical for you.
Oh my God, a Moana stage play. There probably is one that exists.
Yeah,
I'm saying that there probably is one. They've
done one of everything, haven't they?
Yeah, there's a My Hero Academia stage play.
Oh Christ almighty!
Apparently, it's supposed to be really good.
How would that translate?
I don't know.
Not literally.
Where are the subtitles?
Me, a connoisseur, watching the Japanese dub of the My Hero Academia stage play. Next story.
Let's move on.
Harry Potter reboot is in the works at HBO. Each season of the series would be based off one of the 7 books.
Motherfuckers are thinking they're getting more than one season.
J.K. Rowling will be involved in the Harry Potter remake for HBO, so she can ensure it remains loyal to her original material. However,
she's not even loyal to her original material.
However, she will not serve as a showrunner. This is gonna flop. This is gonna flop hard.
Oh yeah, yes, it is.
I don't think
loyal.
I don't think Warner Brothers or J.K. Rowling realized that the only appeal of those 8 movies are the cast.
Yeah,
yeah,
they
like,
are.
The only reason,
they are iconic films. Like even
the
if you
only
don't
reason-
like them,
the only reason I will ever go and rewatch any of those movies is because of Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and Emma Watson.
yeah,
That
the
is it.
casting of that film is pretty spot on. I wouldn't say there's a bad cast in that film.
And I mean, this is kind of different to Hogwarts Legacy because she's very much tight at this.
Yeah, it's very.
So-
if people were trying to boycott Hogwarts Legacy, then there's.
You'll better bring the same energy to this project, because if I don't see people boycotting this as hard as they boycotted Hogwarts Legacy, then you're just being disingenuous.
Yeah, and also, did they not learn from Fantastic Beasts 3? That movie bombed, and that involved J.K. Rowling. And it doesn't matter if she's not directly involved as a screenwriter or anything like that, because she can't write screenplays. Like, Fantastic Beasts, the first one is okay. I do quite like that one. The rest of them, dog shit. Don't watch them.
From what I've gathered, she can't write stage plays either.
Yeah, I've heard The Cursed Child is bad.
And from what I've gathered retroactively, she's not a particularly good author.
Yeah, it's strange situation. What an odd... It's such an odd choice.
I know we said that we're going to try and be nice to people on this podcast, but legitimately, just fuck J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, it's hard to defend. It is hard to defend.
There's no pretense to that. Warner Brothers, doing business with her like this outright, clearly just to try and make money, is
bad.
It's bad. I hope this flops. I kind of know it will flop.
Yeah,
I'm Nostradamus. Call me back in however many years it takes for this to come out when this is flopped.
I like the way that each season will be cover one book, as they are expecting it to hit that many seasons.
Also, it's going to be really weird because your seasons are going to be really tonally different from one another.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going off books, I suppose. I don't know. It's why I don't see the point. I don't see any point in doing it.
No,
did they just think Harry Potter's popular? People like Stranger Things with kid actors. Let's do that. But we can't write. I don't.
I mean,
I don't get it.
To each their own, and I know there are a lot of people out there that really like Harry Potter, and I'm not gonna come for you specifically for liking Harry Potter.
No,
that you're allowed to do.
I think Harry Potter is such a it is an interesting world that exists that keeps getting meddled with. But the Harry Potter universe it's just fun. It's just a fun universe. I enjoy it, but if you're a Harry Potter fan, why do you want a series of something that you could already go and watch in those films? Because I think they're something
that's been adapted pretty solidly already.
Geekly Confessions.
Same as Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings has already been adapted pretty well.
I mean, yeah.
That's why I don't need to, Peter Jackson knew what to leave out when adapting it and knew what to put in.
Yeah.
And to make it work for films, and that's why I don't really need another Lord of the Rings adaptation, because we already have a good one.
It makes no sense to me. I know they want to make money off this franchise, but just make a spin-off that isn't Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, okay, I get it. I get that Warner Brothers are kind of broke at the moment.
Yeah.
But there's a way to do it. It's called releasing Superman Legacy in 2025. There we go.
Superman sweep. Superman sweep.
I mean, it's Superman. If that movie doesn't make $1 billion, then what will?
I'm going to be sad. I am going to be sad. I think it's going to be good, but that's neither here nor there at the moment because we know not a hell of a lot about it.
Right, but the reason I bring it up is because I can tangentially jump to the next story because it's James Gunn adjacent. All of the posters of Rocket Raccoon for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Yeah. This isn't a news story per se, but I really did want to bring it up because it's legitimately quite funny.
Yeah.
So we've got the real D3D one, we've got the Screen X one, we've got the Dolby Digital one, and we've got the Fandango poster. And the main through line with all of these posters is they all prominently feature Rocket Raccoon on them. And I think the exact photo I sent to you, I think I sent two to you. I think one of them was the mock-up of the John Wick poster where he's surrounded by all of the guns, but it was just Baby Rocket in the center of all of the pistols. And then the other one was Don Draper in the business meeting with the flip chart, and it just says, "We're going to kill the fucking raccoon."
Yeah.
Oh, this poor guy is gone frame one, isn't he?
I think it's a massive misdirect. I don't think they're killing off Rocket.
I mean, it's the last film.
Yeah, but I don't think they're killing off Rocket. I think it's too in your face. I think it is
the secret protagonist of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, he's not so much secret anymore, is he? Considering these posters.
God.
I am the protagonist.
Oh God! Don't remind me that was a line in a Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah, I think it's a misdirect. I don't think he's going to die. I think it's going to be another Guardian that's going to die.
No, I'm on the complete other side of the coin. I don't just think he's going to die. I think this raccoon is going to get fucking obliterated.
I don't. I guess. I guess we're gonna find out when it does release. But
on May 5th.
There we go. Thank you. I forgot the date when it was coming out.
It's on every single one of those posters, Ash.
Yeah, but I haven't. I've got them on the small screen, and I'm not that close to the screen.
There are four of them, and they're on every single one of those posters.
Yeah, listen, you little shit.
I'm going to call you out live on air.
I'm going to fucking Rocket Raccoon this motherfucker now. I'm going to put you on every fucking piece of paper that I can find, and then murder you.
There we go. There we go. Local police. If I do mysteriously disappear now over the next week, you have a recorded confession.
What?
Oh God. Next news story. Mike Myers, Cameron Diaz, and Eddie Murphy are in early talks to return for Shrek 5. I picked this one because I saw someone report on this and say it was confirmed. It's not confirmed. It's not even confirmed that Shrek 5 is happening.
Is it? I thought it was confirmed. See, that's obviously why I thought it was confirmed because I saw.
Maybe it's confirmed that Shrek 5 is happening, but it's not confirmed that the original cast is returning.
Yeah, and they're not returning, what's the point?
Yeah, what is the
point?
But
then again, what's the point of Shrek 5?
Yeah, Shrek reached a logical conclusion.
I mean, Shrek 4 was shit.
I mean, but Puss in Boots was...
That's a good point. Apparently...
really, really good.
2 Puss, 2 Boots was apparently very good.
2 Puss, 2 Boots. Pussy Boots.
Yeah, that is a film that is on my watch list as well as every other film in the history of mankind. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently there's also talks for an Eddie Murphy-led Donkey spin-off.
I don't need that.
No, I thought I'd bring it up to you specifically just so you could say the words, I don't need that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Eddie Murphy used to be really good.
An Eddie Murphy-led Donkey spin-off would be on par with every single Kevin Hart movie for me. Just something I don't want to watch. Sorry, Kevin Hart. That was. I know you clearly listen to this podcast, and that was very mean of me to say.
we
I've got.
we have insulted both The Rock and Kevin Hart at this point.
I mean, we've got to be really careful with insulting The Rock because he will come to my house and he will
Smash you over the head with a bottle of his tequila.
His tequila, yes, but it'll be that one frame from Black Adam that everyone memed where he's flying, and it's just like the sort of the 1.5 zoom just on his forehead. He'll do that through my window, smash a bottle of tequila off my head, and then leave.
Yeah.
Let's see where we go to now. I believe we're on our final news story now, actually. Ooh. Yes, we are. Our final news story of the week. Peacemaker has been renewed for season 2. And is being planned to premiere after Superman Legacy's release, which means Peacemaker season 2 will not come out until 2025.
That's fucking canon, baby.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people on Twitter like, what?
Angry?
Well, yeah, they were angry because they're like, it makes no sense to leave this amount of a gap between the first season of Peacemaker and the second season of Peacemaker. And then in my head, I was just like, yes, it does, because it's just going to mean that it's cementing Peacemaker in the DCU after the reboot.
Yeah. And you can use events that have happened within the reboot then within Peacemaker, I suppose.
You can. I mean, I suppose you could go as far as to put Superman in Peacemaker then,
rather than shadow Superman from Peacemaker season 1.
Yes, God, Peacemaker's really good. I'm actually really happy about this news.
It is something that, again, I've meaning to watch.
There it is. There it is. You said the line, everyone.
I have it on Blu-ray as well, and I still have not watched it.
Oh God, it's time to pack up and go home, everyone. He said the line. He said the line. He's done it. And now it's time for me to scroll all the way back up. Oh, I missed a news story whilst I was scrolling through. It's a good thing I scrolled back up, isn't it?
Professional.
The actual final news story, as you can tell with our professionalism. Jedi Survivor, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, sorry, has increased hair, beard, costume, and lightsaber customization compared to the first game.
It looks so good, the customization. I love it.
It looks weirdly good, doesn't it?
It does. I'm actually impressed with how good that customization looks.
The highlight of that showcase, for like the customization showcase, was the like, not like the half beard where it's just the bottom half of the beard and the mullet on Cal.
Yeah.
As I like to call him, Hillbilly Cal Kestis. It looks really good. He also kind of looks like a cowboy. Like space cowboy.
Well, that's the thing. It's revealed that you will be able to use a blaster in this.
Google, when do I get the gun in Star Wars Jedi Survivor?
But yeah, there's apparently 5 different stances. There's the regular single blade lightsaber. There's the dual blades, and then there's the dual blades where you detach them, so they are actual dual blades. There's the crossguard stance, and then there's lightsaber with blaster stance. So anyway, I started blasting.
I've pre-ordered this game. I'm not usually a big guy for pre-ordering these days.
Yeah.
But like, I wasn't going to pre-order this either, but then sort of everything that's come out, it looks like it is kind of just a step above the first game.
The more I see of it, the more I do really want it. So it definitely on my radar to pick up.
It does look a bit more open. It looks like they've nailed some things that maybe a bit of criticism in the first game.
Yeah, hopefully it's not as buggy as the first game.
Hopefully not.
My God, having the fucking Knight Brothers T-pose towards me. Fuck me.
You have the platinum for the first game, don't you?
I do, and oh man, so going back in to do all the extra stuff for the platinum, it was tough. It was tough at some point.
I had the first one on Xbox, and I did a lot of it. Like, I don't know how close I came to like 100%ing it, but I did a lot of the stuff for it. Yeah, it is a janky game.
Yeah, I can't see during the story. I can't remember it being that janky.
No, but
going
going back
back
and
into it,
exploring, many restart you from checkpoints and stuff.
yeah, there was a lot of
Right.
issues.
And as the professionals we are, now that has actually concluded the news.
Yeah.
And now we kind of continue with news, but it's all trailers that came out of the last week. So this is the start of a section that I am labeling with the executive authority that has been given to me by God. The weekly recap.
Weekly recap.
Real original, I know.
Everyone, welcome to the kitchen because people be cooking.
Welcome to the kitchen because welcome to Walter White's meth lab because someone cooked you.
Someone, all these trailers are very
really good. So I think the first, we'll just talk about them in order that they're down. First trailer we have was for Secret Invasion, which is premiering on Disney Plus on June 21st, and that shit looks pretty good.
It does. I watched it just before recording.
My exact thought was just like the Star Wars show about Cassian Andor looked really good from the trailer and did end up being really good. The Marvel show about Nick Fury looks really good. Like, why does the Marvel show about Nick Fury look better than most of the Marvel shows we got?
I don't really know. It's hard to explain.
Yes, everyone's favorite Marvel character, Nick Fury. I think it's just like espionage and like spy stuff, just like really like hits it for me.
Yeah, it feels more grounded, I suppose. So it does feel more real within that universe, I guess.
I mean, yeah. We've got Ben Mendelsohn back as Talos or Talon from Captain Marvel. He was the Skrull in Captain, not the antagonist of Captain Marvel. Turns out, let's highlight that. Not be racists. We all love the Skrull.
Yeah.
He's back as Skrull man that I can't remember the name of. Olivia Colman is in it in an undisclosed role. She's in the trailer, but I don't know who she's playing. Emilia Clarke is in it as, I believe, Gia. I think she's a Skrull. I'm not really sure. I think that's going to be the big thing with this. Who is a Skrull? It's like with Westworld, who was a robot.
I think it is supposed to be sort of that paranoia as well, that you don't know who the Skrulls are, per se. Because is this a Skrull, Nick Fury? Because Nick Fury was revealed to be a Skrull in earlier movies.
Yes, Nick Fury was a Skrull in Far From Home, wasn't he?
Yeah, in the post-credits scene, it was revealed that he in Space Station.
Yes. So I believe this is real Nick Fury returning to Earth, because I believe Talos was posing as Nick Fury during the events of Far From Home.
But was he? That's the thing. It's never revealed how long he was posing as Nick Fury, was it?
No.
So
that is true, because it could have been since he faked his death. To be honest with you.
Yeah. So it's very hard to know.
Martin Freeman is in this.
As
his. I like that little shot of him with the hat, the beanie hat on above his ears. My brother's looking fantastic. The white man from the Black Panther movies. What is his name? Isn't it Agent Ross? Everett Ross. Yes. We've got Kingsley Ben-Adir as the main antagonist of the show. He is a Skrull. It looks like he kind of maybe is a take on the Super Skrull, because there's like a shot of him with a really stretchy arm.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about him again because he's in one of the other things this week that we get to talk about.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm arguably the most excited to talk about.
Oh no.
But yeah, this looks pretty good.
Yeah, I gotta say, I watched it and I was not expecting. I was like, Secret Invasion, I'm not bothered. But when I watched it, I was like, okay, that looks interesting. That looks intriguing.
Gosh, we're gonna have another name I can't pronounce now. Going
oh god, here he goes.
The next trailer we had was Blue Beetle.
Woo!
So
I actually really like this.
He's a superhero whether he likes it or not, only in theaters August 18th. Someone cooked here.
Someone did cook here, and
it looks
it
looks fantastic, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think it does. I think it looks great. And like everyone's like, why does it look cheesy? Why does it look? I'm like, bro,
It's a superhero movie.
Have fun with it. Again, we said this last week. Have fun with your movies. Like it reminds me, the shots are like, well, that looks cheesy. It looks like Power Rangers. I'm like, bro, Power Rangers rocks. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers don't understand true art.
Okay, I'm actually gonna take a shot at this. I've been reading it on Google how to say his name. So we have Cholo Maribenois. I apologize now if I completely butchered that. He plays Miguel Diaz in Cobra Kai. That I can say. So he's the lead. He's the lead of Cobra Kai on Netflix, which is a pretty good show. He plays Jaime Reyes. Jaime Reyes, who in this film seems to be just this young like blue collar worker who is handed a box which contains the scarab.
Yep.
I think immediately the first thing that stood out to me was how like fucked up like the scarab binding to him was.
Yeah, that was horrifying. Some of the shots, like the wings burning through.
Mm-hmm.
Like the clothing, like him getting attached to the ceiling. I was like
with all the nanotech we've seen in superhero movies, it was kind of refreshing to just see one that was like so out of left field and was just like basically just body horror.
Yeah.
To like watch. It was like going into his mouth and shit, and it was like burning through his clothes. It was like terrifying to watch.
I dug it. Though. It was cool. And there's one thing I do like about the Blue Beetle design after he turns into Blue Beetle. They don't have that stupid fucking mouth. That mouth wouldn't have worked in live action. I don't think there's any way to not make it look like really strange.
Didn't work in Injustice 2. I'm going to say it right now.
All the gear pieces that didn't show his mouth were the ones I chose.
I feel like there's a few references to like the original Blue Beetle Ted Cord in this. Like, there's the flying Blue Beetle thing. Oh, Zack Snyder's the blueprint. Shut the fuck up, everyone who thinks that's from Watchmen. It's just Ted Cord Blue Beetle. Read a fucking comic book, you idiots. I mean, also that's Zack Snyder's not the blueprint because that was in the Watchmen comics. So if Alan Moore's the blueprint, fucking idiots. And Dave Gibbons. Sorry, I'll credit them both.
Don't forget Dave Gibbons. I like Dave. Gibbons.
Yeah, I like Dave Gibbons too. We saw the original Blue Beetle, the original Ted Cord Blue Beetle suit as well. Trunks. Superman's having trunks in Superman Legacy. I'm sorry for what.
Fucking better. I mean, I don't mind suits without trunks.
It's not gonna ruin the movie for me if he does. No. It'd be nice if he did.
I like a Superman with trunks. What can I say?
The other thing I really like from this trailer is when there's like the line where it's like, and you can form anything you want from the suit, and then he forms like the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII, and he does like the Cloud Strife like kick over the like sword and
that was so cool.
I was like, this shit is so cool. Like, count that as a Final Fantasy reference? I think I can.
Yeah, I reckon.
But it was like this film just looks so fucking cool.
Yeah, looks like a lot of fun. And there's another thing that I just need to bring up.
Ooh.
Batman's a fascist.
I saw everyone on Twitter losing their shit at that.
How dare he disrespect Batman like this, Batman this, Batman that. It's not the filmmaker saying that they don't like Batman. It is a character in the movie saying they don't like Batman. It doesn't mean they endorse the idea that Batman is a fascist.
I believe at the time of the release of the audio version of this podcast, the video version for the last podcast should be up, which includes a little segment of what Ash has coined as Gatman.
Because he is going to pull out the gat and shoot your family.
who is canonically the Batman that is portrayed in the DCEU, who is actually a fascist because he legitimately just kills anyone who doesn't agree with him.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get angry about it, but the Batman that we've been shown in the DCU, like, so far, is actually pretty close to a fascist.
Yeah, and like I know this exists in the new DC universe, so this must mean that it's a strange idea that a character in the film can have a different opinion to the filmmakers.
Oh wow!
I know it's hard to comprehend. I know. I'm glad. Are you sitting down because you need to be careful if you are standing up when you hear that news.
Oh my god! I can't believe what you've just told me. It's completely shattered my worldview.
Yeah, because everyone knows that every character in every film must have the same ideals as the filmmaker.
Yeah, as we know.
But yeah, it's so stupid. People are getting so angry just about this one thing. You know, it's just a throwaway joke. Like, grow up.
Mm-hmm.
Like Blue Beetle. Like I'm pretty sure Blue Beetle is a big fan of Batman.
Yeah,
anyway,
I think so. Well, the Jaime Reyes is. I'm pretty sure because that's where I know Blue Beetle from, is from Batman: The Brave and the Bold.
Yeah,
that was my first exposure to Blue Beetle. The way he's kind of like his protege in that show, because I don't think there's a Robin in that show. So I think it's been a while since I've watched it. So, but I think that Jaime like fills the role of like the child sidekick in that show as Blue Beetle.
Yeah, he is Grogu to Batman's Din Djarin.
Did you see? Well, we're going to segue a bit here, but did you see Rick Famuyiwa's comments about the Mandalorian that came out of Star Wars Celebration? So apparently, the Mandalorian isn't about Din Djarin anymore. He's outright said that the Mandalorian is about the concept of Mandalorians now.
What? Why isn't it called Mandalorians then?
Well, I mean, we'll get into this a bit more for another episode.
Yeah,
which we will elaborate on later again.
Yeah, I've been seeing so much about the Mandalorian through surprise, TikTok, and most of them are just very horny edits of Bo-Katan, and I think they're beginning to brainwash me.
Mommy.
Exactly those ones.
Mommy. Mother.
Yeah. Mother.
Our algorithm is the same, Ashley. You know this.
Have you? Yeah, that's true. That is true. We send each other TikToks, like kind of daily. And we're like, yeah, I've seen that one. That showed up like an hour ago for me.
We will leave the viewers just to speculate on what our TikTok algorithm presents us with now.
Yeah,
we won't go into it anymore.
I mean, we've already given away one of them.
Yeah, we'll move on to the next trailer, which is another superhero movie. It was the first trailer for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, releasing in theaters on June 2nd. That film was meant to be out a year ago today. Yeah,
that's crazy.
That is crazy. I kind of didn't like this trailer. Oh God, shoot me right now! I know.
I liked the vibe of the trailer. Love the art style, of course.
Yeah,
art style. The issue is the trailer showed way too
much.
I felt
there were a lot of little details I did like in the trailer.
I loved the joke. The pointed joke never fails to make me laugh.
Yeah.
Maybe it would have been nicer to save that for the movie.
I'll go through two details that I really liked in this trailer. One is when they're in the office talking about Miles's grades, and they say that he got a B in Spanish when Miles's mum snaps her fingers. It's the Puerto Rican flag. I really like that little detail.
That's a good detail. I do like that.
The other one is when we first see the Spot in the trailer, and he's trying to. What he's obviously trying to do is he's trying to reach into the ATM to take the money, but his hand is like coming out in the fucking shelf.
Yeah.
Like there's things like that. Like the art direction and stuff, there's obviously a lot of attention to it. Like all of the Spider-Men have like a unique art style.
Scarlet
Spider. I mean, Miguel has one, I'd say, as well.
Yeah. Like they all feel unique.
Yeah, they all feel like unique.
Who they are, yeah.
But like, it's very like you can sort of pinpoint from that trailer like what's in the first act, what's in the second act, and what is possibly in the third act.
I'm hoping we're wrong about it. I suppose
you can definitely tell in that trailer the flip between the first and the second act is going to be them trying to hunt down Miles.
Yeah, I don't kind of want to go into everything in the trailer just in case people
haven't seen it.
Spoiled,
yeah, because I feel like this is the only trailer that if we discuss it in depth, it's kind of gonna spoil the movie.
Yeah, I don't want to go into it. If you want to go and watch it, go and watch it.
Go watch it. Yeah. I mean, one thing I will say, whilst it doesn't look like he's the villain of this film, Miguel O'Hara is certainly going to be an antagonistic force.
Yes,
definitely. Like, I don't think he's outright going to be the villain.
No, I don't think
so. A bit strange. I think the Spot will be the villain.
Yeah, because that's been confirmed, hasn't it? The Spot is the villain.
Confirmed. The Spot is the villain, but Miguel is certainly not going to be helping.
A motherfucker built though. That's all.
That motherfucker,
fucking huge.
I mean, I think from what I can tell is that in the first movie they kind of just popped his model onto one of the rigs they already had.
Yeah.
But for this, like, he's got his own rig, and he's fucked. I don't understand how like Miles even stands a chance.
No, he is scary.
Motherfucker's got the pointy teeth and the claws.
Yeah, I love that detail. I do like the pointy teeth detail.
The pointy teeth, because his DNA is spliced with the spiders.
But yeah, good. It's good details, but I think too much was shown.
Yeah, too much was shown, which is why I certainly think that like the Blue Beetle trailer and like the Secret Invasion trailer were like really good because they didn't really give away what the films were about.
No, like if I really watched closer, I could be like, maybe it's about this, maybe this is the villain, but there's no outright like, yeah, that is the villain, or that is how this is going to go down.
Right, and now we move on to arguably the trailer that I'm the most excited for. I think everyone is the most excited for, and that is the Barbie movie. It's not even ironic at this point. I'm really fucking excited for this film.
If you told me while I was like maybe about 10 years ago or something, maybe I was in college or something, I would have been like, the Barbie movie, why would I go and watch that? And watching that trailer, I'm like,
someone cooked you?
Yeah, someone cooked you. A tear came to my eye. And I realised that I was viewing what truly people describe as a masterpiece. Something that transcends reality and makes the whole world whole.
So this is in theatres on July 21st. I feel like it's important, as I've been doing so far, just to say when these ones are out. The first shot is of her like walking. It's just of her feet in high heels, and she takes her feet out of the high heels, and they're in the Barbie position. I fucking gasped. I gasped. I tell you, I gasped. I audibly gasped. I was like, it's peak cinema already.
It is.
Give Greta Gerwig another Oscar. This film isn't even out yet.
It was funny as well. It was so stylized. It was great.
And anyone saying that Ryan Gosling is bad casting as Ken, get out the fucking room right now. You don't belong in the conversation. Go watch one of his comedic roles because he's just the funniest fucking dude ever.
I love him in The Nice Guys. I love The Nice Guys.
There you go. So that would be that's one of my recommendations for anyone who doesn't think he belongs in a comedy movie. Just go watch The Nice Guys because
The Nice Guys is so good.
I mean, he's pretty funny in La La Land as well. Like,
yeah,
he's as much as La La Land is like a pretty serious movie and like hits like a fucking truck at the end. He's just a funny guy. He's not just this serious guy. I think people need to remember that he's done like his fair share of comedy movies and rom-coms and stuff.
He is literally the representation of there are two wolves inside of me.
Yeah. Oh, God. They are both gay. He is literally me.
But yeah, it looks great as Ken alongside all the other Kens and all the other Barbies.
I mean, like
It's so good. All of
the production design. I think the one thing production design that really stood out to me, and this is going to sound really weird, is the fucking roller skates that he picks up.
They look like plastic.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as someone who can like collects action figures, like him holding up those fucking like single molded plastic roller skates that clearly also function as roller skates. Like whoever who's doing the production design on that film needs a fucking raise.
That was so that I don't know. It does make me kind of speechless with the design, the music, the aesthetic, everything of it just works.
So I have so kindly opened the Twitter threads of all of the character posters that the Barbie movie account posted.
Yeah,
so you don't have
film
to.
Is stacked.
So obviously we have Margot Robbie as the titular Barbie.
Yes.
We then have, here he is again. I said he'd be back. We have Kingsley Ben-Adir as a Ken. We have Harry Neff as a Barbie, and specifically the poster says, this Barbie is a doctor. We then have Emma Mackey as another Barbie. This Barbie has a Nobel Prize in Physics. We have Dua Lipa as Barbie. This Barbie is a mermaid. We have Anna Cruz Kane. This Barbie is a Supreme Court Justice. I'm going to repeat myself a lot here, aren't I? I love all the Ken posters as well, though, because you guessed it, he's a Ken. Like, there's no elaboration to what any of these Kens are.
He's a Ken!
They're just Kens. We've got Sharon Rooney as Barbie. This Barbie is a lawyer. We've got Emerald Fennell. She's Midge. For anyone who doesn't know what Midge is, this is another one of the discontinued Barbie action figures where they were a pregnant Barbie that like you could swap out like the pregnancy bump and like have a baby.
I didn't even know.
I've done my fucking research, I tell you.
This man has gone down the rabbit hole.
So we've got Ryan Gosling as seemingly the main Ken.
Yeah.
We've got Issa Rae. This Barbie is president. She's in the trailer. I remember seeing her in the trailer. We've got Simu Liu as he's another Ken. These Ken posters are fucking hilarious.
The beat you off joke between
beat you off joke. Yeah, this film, if anyone who couldn't guess by watching that trailer, isn't for children, which I didn't think it was anyway. But people had that idea for some reason. We've got Kate McKinnon as a Barbie. It says this Barbie is always in the splits. Now, this is another really good bit of production design because the Kate McKinnon Barbie, you can clearly tell it's like a Barbie that has like had its hair cut by like safety scissors and like has been drawn on and everything.
Yeah.
It's really funny. We've got Ncuti Gatwa as Ken again. Ken again. These posters are great.
I mean, Ncuti Gatwa is also the new Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
So that will be this year as well. So a big year for
Ncuti Gatwa.
Yeah.
We've got Nicola Collin as this Barbie is a diplomat. God. Alexandra Shipp. This Barbie is a celebrated author. Ritu Aya. This Barbie has a Pulitzer. And there he is. Here's my boy, Michael Cera. There's only one Alan.
There's only one Alan. I actually know about Alan because he was supposed to be the best friend of Ken. And
I love
could wear Ken's clothes.
Yeah, the tagline fits into all of Ken's clothes.
Yeah, it's great.
And then I remember there's this final thread of all the human characters that are in the movie because I think the plot of this movie is that Barbie goes to the real world.
It seems that way.
Is this Barbie movie an isekai?
Barbie gets hit by a bus and travels to the real world.
I will be seated for the Barbie isekai.
But yeah, it does seem that way because there's that shot of them driving to what looks like a portal of the real world, and that's when the car flips and she asks Ken,
have you got your
rollers? I literally go, no, I without
them. So we've got America Ferrera as one of the human characters. We've got Ariana Greenblatt as another human character. We've got Helen Mirren in this movie as the narrator. We've got Will Ferrell. All that his poster says is "Please call me mother." So he's got one of those thirsty TikToks about him, obviously. We've got Connor Swindles as he's like an intern or something. And we've got Jamie Demetriou as he's a suit.
He's a suit.
So we've also got a sort of unofficial cast reunion of Sex Education here, because we've got Emma Mackey, we've got Ncuti Gatwa, and we've got Connor Swindles, who are all in Sex Education together.
I didn't even click with that.
That is the cast as we've been told of Barbie. Thus far. I mean, his name was in the cast list as well, but I don't know who she's playing because she didn't get a character poster.
Isn't there a rumor as well about a certain casting in this movie?
I mean, I don't know if the rumor you're going to say is the same thing that I'm about to say.
Go.
But I'm going to say that it would be very amiss of Greta Gerwig not to put Saoirse Ronan and Timothée Chalamet in this movie, because then it would be like her only project that they're not both in.
Yeah, actually, I didn't click with that.
Timothée Chalamet, Ken, please. Moa Deep, the Moa Deep Ken.
Moa Deep Ken.
The Moa Deep Ken. Comes with a Shia looking success. For anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about there, I'm making Dune references and I'm really sorry. Oh god, I need to stop. The Moa Deep. That's really like buckle gear, isn't it? The Moa Deep. The other thing, I posted this on Twitter as well in relation to this movie, is that Chris Nolan may as well just pack up and go home.
Yeah,
Wait, I'm sorry.
Because isn't this the same day?
Yeah, if I don't go and see the Oppenheimer Barbie double feature, I know which one I'm picking to go see, and it sure as hell ain't Oppenheimer. I'm sorry, Chris.
Oh my god.
Oh god. I mean, the only reason I want to go and see Oppenheimer is because I want to see the money shot.
Where he nukes a small town.
I want to see what small town. I want to see where he practically built a small town in real life to just nuke it.
Yeah. Where? What did you blow up, Chris? What have you done?
So the next trailer it's not really a trailer per se. It's a video. I'll call it that. It's sort of more of a cast announcement. It's the cast announcement for Maxine, which is the third film in the X trilogy. And it begins filming this month. The film will star Mia Goth, Giancarlo Esposito, Elizabeth Debicki, Moses Sumney, Michelle Monaghan, Bobby Cannavale, Lily Collins, Halsey, and Kevin Bacon. I mean, Mia Goth will be the returning character. She played Maxine in X. Well, she played Maxine and Pearl in X, and then reprised her role as Pearl for Pearl, and now is reprising her role as Maxine for Maxine.
As movies that I also, again, haven't seen.
Hey. I sat down to watch Pearl the other night. Yep. And thanks Amazon for telling me that you sold me a region-locked copy of Pearl, because I put it in my PlayStation to watch it.
Oh, what did you watch instead?
I mean, I suppose we can get on to that later. I kind of don't want to spoil it now, because it's something I can talk about. But Giancarlo Esposito is likely going to be playing the villain, or, well, the antagonist of this film, because that man has been typecast to all hell at this point. I feel sorry for him. Let him do something else, please.
That guy seems like the happiest guy in real life.
And you touch yourself. Oh. You go to the urinal, you unzip your pants, and you touch yourself.
Yeah, because this will lead into some other things. There was Star Wars Celebration. As we're filming this, basically, the weekend is still going on with all the Star Wars celebrations. But we have a little plan for next month, a certain date, and we kind of want to discuss all that stuff then. We may be a little bit late, or quite a bit late, but we'd rather talk about that then.
I looked it up, and we'll probably be like 2 or 3 weeks out by the time we record fall.
Yeah,
but it makes more sense to talk about Star Wars Celebration there than it does here, if that makes sense to everyone listening.
Yeah. So but the reason I brought that up is because he was at Star Wars Celebration. There was an interview with him. It was him, Carl Weathers, and who plays the armorer? I'm terrible with names.
I don't.
She was very funny as well. She was incredibly funny.
It's
Carl Weathers. So honestly, those three together, like the most wholesome interview ever. They were in a big hall. Carl Weathers got up and said I'm going to stand facing this way because everyone's looking at the back of my head and things like that. Giancarlo Esposito just seemed like the most down-to-earth, nice guy ever, and it's bizarre because how much he's been typecast as a villain and an antagonist. And seeing him, I was like, this don't feel right. This don't feel right. It was really strange, but watching them, it brought a massive smile to my face. It was brilliant.
So the next trailer we have is once again, it's just a very short teaser. But this is something that I believe Ash is probably very excited about. And it's something that I think looks really cool as well. And that is the first teaser for My Adventures with Superman has been released. The series releases in summer on Adult Swim.
I'm excited because this was shown off back at a certain, was it DC Fandom? I think they showed one still image of it, and it was of Clark, Lois, and Jimmy.
I mean, I think all of the designs in this look really good.
Yeah, the Superman costume, I have some things I'm like, maybe.
I don't like the symbol.
You don't like the symbol? I don't mind the symbol.
I don't like the symbol.
I think it is a symbol of a certain run, but I'm not sure. I don't want to go into it.
And I think the belt being fully red kind of messes with the color balance of the suit, in my opinion.
Yeah, those are the criticisms I'm seeing with the suit. But overall, though, it's a good suit. I like it.
I mean, it looks very reminiscent of Invincible.
Yeah, but Invincible's good. It's something that I've watched for this podcast, and I really enjoyed Invincible because it reminded me of Superman.
Yeah, people who say that Invincible is what if Superman was evil but he had a good son? It's
no.
It's just what if Superman was good but had an evil dad?
Yeah, it's basically like a parallel. It's kind of if you just consider Superman and Zod.
Yeah, it's a lot more simple than that, and people sort of overcomplicate Invincible in terms of it being oh look, Nolan is an evil Superman, because he's not. Nolan is Zod and Mark is Superman. It's very obvious. That's how Invincible is meant to be. But this looks really good. I will be seated. I like an animated superhero thing. I like Superman.
Superman's great. Superman is one of my favorite superheroes.
Since we last did the podcast, well, not since we last did because we did the podcast last week. Ha ha ha! Very funny. Since our original run, I've really come around on Superman because I've read quite a few Superman comics now.
Good character.
Yeah, people say he's boring. Just read some interesting Superman stories.
Yeah, people just tend to just think, yeah, he's just all power, he's super powerful. So all the fights he has, it doesn't really matter. I'm it's not the fights that's what make a superhero.
I will tell you that the only Superman stories that I do legitimately find boring are evil Superman stories.
Yeah, I don't mind there being an Elseworld story of an evil Superman, but there are some people who like making the evil Superman the mainline Superman, and I don't want to discuss that. Why is it we can't help but dig into certain adaptations of superheroes,
certain elements of the DC universe?
Yes.
I mean, I think it's just because he makes it easy for us to do so because his films aren't very good.
Oof. We don't want to go into that. Maybe an episode in the future or something.
Maybe we'll both sit down and watch Batman v Superman and get drunk and fall asleep because it's an absolutely boring movie. Oh, there you go, I said it.
This is derailed. Let's get this train back on track. Let's go.
So, as much as we did just say that we're not going to talk about Star Wars this week, we got one trailer from Star Wars Celebration, it's very remiss of Star Wars Celebration because usually all the trailers are shown behind closed doors and none of them come out until months after Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about it now just to capitalize on it whilst it's out. And then we'll obviously talk about it a bit more on May 4th then. So we got our first trailer for the Ahsoka TV series, which is being released in August on Disney+. From this point on, I will refuse to call it Ahsoka, and I will be calling it Rebels 2.5. Because that is what it is. And as much as I absolutely dug into Dave Filoni last week for Glupshitos, seeing all of the Rebels characters return in live action in this show, where they're meant to be, was kind of cool. Well, because they're meant to be in this show. That's why.
Make your mind. Make up your mind.
I like them when they serve the story. Ashley, I like them when they're part of the shows they're meant to be in. I don't like it when they show up in bar scenes, have about 3 lines, and then aren't in the rest of the fucking episode. So we get to see Rosario Dawson, who is now Ahsoka. As of Mandalorian season 2, she pretty much, I believe she's trying to stop Grand Admiral Thrawn. I believe that's the whole premise of the show. Because guess what? The Grand Admiral Thrawn is alive as of the end of Rebels. For everyone who's watched Rebels,
yes, I understand this.
He was pulled off by a big space whale, which is called a Purgil, into hyperspace in his Star Destroyer, and that's the last we ever saw of him and Ezra.
Okay.
But he's back. He's just back now, which means Ezra's likely back as well.
Does that mean we're getting a blaster lightsaber?
No, because he ditches that towards the end of Rebels and just gets a conventional lightsaber. Because Ezra becomes like an actual character at some point.
But why can't an actual character have a fucking gun?
Because that's just silly.
Saruman the silly.
Pops. We get to see live-action versions of Hera and Sabine, and we get to see the hologram of Ezra in live-action. We get live-action Chopper again, because Chopper was in Rogue One in live-action, technically. I can't remember who plays Sabine. It's Natasha Liu something. I think it's Natasha Liu Bordizzo. I believe that's what she's called. I don't know anything she's been in, so I can't say this. But then, as she was last week, my wife, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, is back. She's now in green prosthetics and has tentacles on her head, but she's still my wife. And she's playing Hera in live action, and she looks really good as Hera. Genevieve O'Reilly is back as Mami Mon Mothma. My favorite character ever from Star Wars, thanks to Andor. It's just like, I'm not impervious to it, I will say. I'm not impervious to the fan service, because I'm a massive Star Wars fan. So when I do love a Glupshitter. It was my bit for all of my Star Wars reviews that I did when I watched them all and logged them on Letterboxd. Like, I'm not impervious to the fan service when it's done well. When these characters I implemented into the stories well, I like it. But when we get an episode of The Mandalorian that includes Jack Black and Lizzo for no reason,
yeah, I've been seeing that a lot. And I can't make comments on it because I haven't seen the episode, so I can't make comments on that one. But Bo-Katan's in it, so you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's just the main character of this season of The Mandalorian, to be honest with you. But hey, there we go.
The Mommy-Lorian.
The Mommy-Lorian.
Oh,
it's no longer the Mandalorian. It is the Woman-Delorian. I've also realised Christopher Lloyd was in that episode, and the suffix of the word is DeLorean.
Oh, whoa!
I think I've just broken the Matrix there.
Great Scott.
Great
Am
Scott.
I right, fellow kids?
God, look at us. Making funny jokes. Firing on all cylinders. So yeah, we'll talk about this a bit more, I think, when we get to the May 40th episode. But this show looks good. Also, the budget for this show looks way higher than The Mandalorian. And I think it's because I don't know if they're getting Greg Fraser back to do it. For everyone who doesn't know, Greg Fraser was the cinematographer for the first series of The Mandalorian. He was also the cinematographer for the Batman. I'm convinced that is the only man on the planet that knows how to work the volume.
Yeah, because first season Mandalorian does not look like it's filmed on the volume.
No, and the Batman is filmed a lot on the volume. A lot of the skyscraper shots are done for the volume.
Yeah.
They look fantastic.
Does not look like it's on the volume either.
No. And now we move on to our final trailer of the week. This apparently 4 people at Star Wars Celebration, they got to see 6 minutes of footage for this movie, and I was
holy shit.
Cinema is back, baby, because we got to see the final trailer for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
I'm excited, man.
Releasing on June 30th in theaters.
And that's close as well. I'm so excited.
So this trailer kicked off, admittedly, with one of my pet peeves in movie trailers, where it kicked off with a classic rock song.
But
it really worked for this trailer, and then also so it was "Sympathy for the Devil" by it's the Rolling Stones, isn't it?
It's the yes.
And at some point in the trailer, it sort of transitions from through the song transitions into the Indiana Jones theme, and it was
really hearing the notes that come in, and you're man, this trailer had me by the balls, man. It's so good. Yeah, it's good seeing that, you see a lot of action heroes now, and they just they just do everything, and they don't seem to have any problems doing things. Like, in the majority of the action heroes you get, you're just they just tear through a room. There's no issues. But you can tell in this that Indy's having issues. That's what made Indiana Jones good as an action hero to begin with, because at the end of the day, he's a regular dude.
He's literally just a college professor.
Yeah, he is a regular dude who is thrust into the situation, gets to beat up some Nazis, and it looked good. De-aged Harrison Ford.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge is in it. She plays his goddaughter.
Yes, there's a lot of theories about who is her father, but I don't think it's actually being. It hasn't been confirmed. That's the way the trailer's cut. It seems
because it says that I've been shot 9 times, once by your father. And it cuts to the scene of Toby Jones shooting him.
Maybe it is
by accident.
Maybe it is, but maybe it is just cut that way. But we'll find out when the film comes out. I imagine.
Mads Mikkelsen is in this.
Yeah, as I can't remember the character's name.
Zola, I believe.
Yeah, because there's also this is Star Wars Celebration again, but they talked about Indiana Jones. They had an interview about this. Yeah, so they came out doing Star Wars Celebration. I was James Mangold, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and Mads Mikkelsen. They came out. I'd never seen James Mangold in actually him before. I've never seen a picture of him, so I was I did not expect him to look like that. Looks like a cool dude.
He looks a bit like Bernie from Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, I see that. That was right out of left field, but I see that. But it seems like the de-aged Harrison Ford stuff might be in just the beginning of the film.
Yeah, it looks like there's a train scene.
Yeah, so he said the opening of this movie feels like a Spielberg Indiana Jones film, because they asked him, how did you make this feel kind of like a new Indiana Jones film, but also has the essence of an Indiana Jones film?
I mean, it looks really good. The fact that it's premiering at Cannes as well probably indicates that it's going to be a good film, doesn't it?
Yeah,
they don't show any nonsense at the Cannes Film Festival. I'm sorry.
I wish I could
film festival.
I wish I could dispute that with an example, but I can't, unfortunately. I'm sure I could if I had the time, but I don't. We got shit to do.
Got shit to do. But this looks fantastic. Also, a side note, because I forgot to say it, but Lars Mikkelsen is going to be in Ahsoka.
Oh, really?
Lars Mikkelsen. Well, Lars Mikkelsen is reprising his role as Grand Admiral Thrawn because he's the animated version of Thrawn, and he's going to be playing Thrawn in live action.
Oh, is he? Oh.
So at some point, the Mikkelsen brothers were both at Star Wars Celebration. They're probably just having a bunch of fun.
Yeah.
Just chilling, being dudes.
Guys being dudes. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Indiana Jones. It's been a while since we've had a big budget film about like treasure hunting, and a good Indiana Jones film at that.
Now I'm going to ask you a question. As James Mangold directed Logan, we all know that at the end of Logan, Logan sadly passes away. Do you think he's going to do the same with Indiana Jones?
I really don't want him to.
No.
I don't know it. I don't think it's a fitting end to Indiana Jones.
I think Indiana Jones deserves to retire.
Yeah. I don't know if it is a fitting end for the character. Maybe maybe the way it's done, but
I mean, like, he really did. His send off for Logan is really good. To be fair,
yeah.
So, if he does kill Indiana Jones, I'm sure he'll handle it in a very good way. But at the same time, I really don't want him to do it.
Yeah.
So I believe that ends what I'm now going to call the "Someone Cooked Here" segment, because all of the trailers we watched were fucking fantastic.
They were incredible.
Cinema is saved this year. It would seem. It is. It would truly seem that cinema is saved, and maybe Star Wars television has been saved as well with Ahsoka, because at the moment it's a bit dog shit.
Jeez, you really.
I'm really just being mean today, aren't I?
You are being very mean-spirited on the attack.
It's not gonna carry on for much longer, because we're gonna launch into either our final or our last but one segment, depending on how much time I dedicate to it. But we're going to bring back an old segment now.
Yeah.
From the Name Redacted days. We're going to bring back the Geekly Confession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're now tuned in to Geekly Confessions, where these three idiots share some things they may or may not be ashamed of. So sit back, relax, and prepare for some easy listening with Geekly Confessions.
All right. So I'm gonna admit to an absolutely heinous crime here. I would consider myself to be a Resident Evil fan, but I wouldn't consider myself to be a historic Resident Evil fan. I started playing with 7, and then I replayed all the remakes. I played 8, and I really liked all those games. And, pardon me, this is where the Geekly Confession is going to kick in. I've never played the original Resident Evil 4.
What's a Resident Evil? I mean, I've never fully played through a Resident Evil game, so you are doing better than me.
Is it because you're too much of a scared little bitch boy to play them?
Yes, I am a scared little bitch boy. That is why I have played it. 7 is, fuck you.
Once you get the shotgun in 7, it's not even scary.
Yeah.
So, I've never played the original Resident Evil 4, which is cited by a lot of people to be one of the best games on the planet, and one of the most influential games on the planet, because it's pretty much single-handedly responsible for like third-person action games. I don't think it would be too outlandish to say without Resident Evil 4 we wouldn't have Fortnite.
Yeah.
I don't think that's like a statement that's probably too outlandish to say. But I have played, and this is what I'm going to talk about, I've bought and I have played the remake of Resident Evil 4. And it is probably the best remake of one of those games. Out of the 3 remakes they've done, or the 4 if you count the first Resident Evil being remade, it's the best one.
They don't have the years.
Oh, you saw my joke. I was going to make a whole joke about how all of these, I was going to set it up about them taking away the one thing I love about Ashley from the first game, and I was going to frame it as if it was the bit where you could look up his skirt, and then I was going to say it was her massive years. Oh, you stole my fucking joke.
Oh,
Really
I'm
sad,
sorry.
though.
I'm sorry. Would you like to
But
make
yes.
any other jokes? Would you like to pre-warn me next time?
I mean, Leon Kennedy's cracking wise enough for all of us at this point. Like, it is just a schlocky action B movie. It's really weird playing a Resident Evil game and not having to worry about my ammo and just walking into a room and just killing everything.
Roundhouse kicking and
like there's no like tactic to like skirting enemies around the room, like trying to leave some zombies alive so you can dodge them like you did in 2 and stuff like that. It is just you walk into a room, there will be a collection of the enemy type for the area in front of you, and just unload everything you have at them, and you will still have ammo left at the end of this encounter. Don't worry about it. But it is a lot of fun. I'm really, really enjoying it. We were meant to talk about this last week, but we ran over a bit, so I didn't get to. So this was more sort of meant to. This was more sort of meant to be sort of like a quick sort of review of like the early game.
Yeah.
But now I've just finished chapter 8, which is like halfway through the game. There are 16 chapters. So I'm a decent way into it. I'm in the castle now.
But it does sound like you are enjoying this game quite a lot.
It is a lot of fun. I'm really liking sort of, because from what I can tell is like the knife didn't used to do much in the original game, and they've updated that's like you can parry with it now. And, like,
I've seen them parrying all sorts of shit with a knife.
Like the one thing that was really helpful was instead of the chainsaw just being an insta kill, now you can walk the chainsaw. Because I know that wasn't a thing from the first game. It's just like that, like quality of life improvements like that are really good, and I think that all modern video games now should just include like a parry option, like regardless of like
casual.
Because it seems like because Resident Evil has proved now, like regardless of what the game's about, you can just be parrying things.
Yeah,
he just pulls out like a really fucking long knife and just blocks like torches with it and stuff. The story is just Resident Evil, like. It's just Leon. Leon has been sent to rescue the president's daughter, Ashley, and he has come across the horrors of mankind, just the most unimaginable, horrific bioweapons imaginable, and he doesn't phase him. He doesn't blink. He just proceeds to roundhouse kick and suplex everyone in the vicinity until he's done with the job.
Love the fact that like roundhouse kicks and suplexes are like the primary like melee.
Yeah, like
it's fucking fantastic.
Mm-hmm. So I think this it's a very good entry point. I think for someone if you haven't played a Resident Evil game, or maybe like you picked up 7 because you thought that would be a good entry point, and you got too scared because admittedly Resident Evil 7 is fucking terrifying. I will agree with you.
Yeah, fuck you. I'm not a little baby. Leave me alone.
No, there were many points throughout my playthrough of 7 where I was very, very close to just turning it off and never picking the controller back up and playing it again.
Yeah,
I think this, probably 2 and this are probably the best jumping on points because this feels like a direct sequel to the remake of 2.
Yeah, because I've heard 3 cuts a lot of stuff.
Yeah, 3 was kind of disappointing. The remake of 3, I had to play through the remake of 3 twice just to get my money's worth from it, essentially.
Yeah,
because
you can complete it in like no time, can't you?
Yeah, I think I clocked 6 hours over both my runs.
Jesus.
Because 2, it has 2 stories. You do Claire and Leon, and you can do them in either order. That's sort of how you get your money's worth from 2. And 4, it's just Leon, but it's stacking up to be about 18 hours, I'd say, because I'd say each chapter... No, 16 hours. Sorry, I got that wrong. Because each chapter is about an hour long. Some of them have been a bit shorter. Some of them have run over a bit for me. But I've played roughly 9 hours at this point.
Okay, and does it feel well-paced?
Yeah, it feels like I've spent most of my time in the village.
Yeah.
But then, like, none of that ever felt like it was going too slow or going too fast. I will say at one point I did myself over, and I alluded to this whilst I was talking in the week that I was going to bring it up on the podcast. There's a boss fight against this big giant thing. Like, it's like an ogre. It's called El Gigante. You're in a quarry and you're in this arena. What has happened is I bought the RPG from the merchant.
Yeah.
Thinking that it was just an item that you got to keep throughout the entire game. And like I thought I'll just buy it now because I have the money for it, and I'll just keep it in my storage until later in the game when I think I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
And then I thought, do you know what? I feel like there's a boss fight coming up. I'll just keep it on me now just to be safe. It turns out that the RPG is a one-use item that kills the thing you shoot it at in one shot. So I get to this boss fight with El Gigante. I whip out the RPG. I shoot it, and it plays the cutscene for the end of the fight. And I was like, oh, right, maybe that's why I have so much ammo, is because like I didn't have to pick up a single item during that fight, which would have all been health items and ammo items to fight the boss. And then I just had them. I had them left over then just to go out through the rest of the game because I killed that boss in one shot and kind of did myself over.
That's incredible.
It was pretty funny. It's also something that I feel like is a really nice quality of life update. Is like Ashley's kind of more independent in this game.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've seen that places that they say Ashley isn't as annoying as well in gameplay.
You know, if I have to sacrifice her absolutely massive years for her to actually be a functioning character in a video game, then I don't mind it. It seems like this is sort of the remake that Capcom were working towards.
Yeah.
I feel like, well, they wanted to make 2, obviously, because 2 was very lovingly made and it was very good.
Yeah.
I feel like they made 3 just out of obligation. And then they obviously wanted to make this as... they obviously really wanted to make this as well, because this feels like a really lovingly crafted game. Like, it's great. I'd have no problems at the point where I am now giving this game a 10 out of 10.
Wow.
Other than the catapult section when you first get to the castle, because I died 9 fucking times to that. That's not a joke. Gives you the stats at the end of every chapter. I died 9 times. The game told me I could turn the difficulty down, and I was like, this isn't a difficulty problem. I just don't fucking get what's going on here. There's 4 catapults shooting at me, and I don't know where they are. But then I worked it out and I just did it.
Skill issue.
That's what I felt like. I felt like a silly little bitch boy, and I shouted skill issue to myself in the mirror. You can't say anything to me that will hurt me. I've already said it to myself.
Fuck. Damn it.
But I think Leon Kennedy is probably my favorite Resident Evil protagonist now.
I mean, yeah, that's what I understand is a fairly common opinion, isn't it?
The manic pixie dream girl of the Resident Evil franchise. No, fuck Chris Redfield. Friendship with Chris Redfield is over now. I love Leon Kennedy.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm good. It's good to hear that it's well paced, because I know there's a lot of games that come out that like story games, and they just feel like there's a lot of faff in them, and
they slog along a bit.
Yeah, like you just like get me along to this part now, please. I can't be bothered to deal with it.
They include multiple sections where you play as someone who isn't the titular character, and they're all really boring.
I mean, I wouldn't say they're all really boring. There are some interesting parts.
Yeah, but his moveset just doesn't stack up against the main character, and he's kind of a whiny little bitch, and we're clearly talking about God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah,
fuck.
I kind of wanted to tiptoe around it because I felt people would get angry, but yeah, Ragnarok isn't hitting for me as I thought it would.
It's the fact that this is now the second time I have stopped playing that game to play something else.
Yeah,
and I'm just having more fun with the other thing that I've picked up to play.
And as someone who really loves like Norse mythology, it kind of pains me that this is happening, that I don't particularly want to keep going with the game.
I suppose the real Geekly Confession here is that neither of us like God of War Ragnarok, and we don't think
I
that
wouldn't
it's a 10
say
out of 10.
I don't like it.
No, I wouldn't say that I don't like it either, but I definitely don't think it's a 10.
No, I don't
I think
think it is.
I think Resi's a 10. Like, I'll say that. It plays really well, it's paced really well, it's fun, it's legitimately quite funny. There's a lot of tension at some points. Like, it's just a good game. The story is engaging. I'm really enjoying it, and it doesn't feel like I'm taking too long to get from A to B, and I'm progressing through the story at a reasonable rate.
I think that's my issue with Ragnarok. It's just a lot of faff. This has turned into us reviewing Ragnarok. I want to say I don't hate Ragnarok. We both don't hate Ragnarok.
We just don't agree with the 10 out of 10.
Yeah, we don't agree with that.
I will say that I think Ragnarok it's got some fantastic performances in it. It's beautiful, and it plays for the most part. It plays really well.
Yeah,
there are some instances where I felt like the game has been a bit unfair. With the what are they called? Marauders, I think they are in this game. The Marauder fights.
Oh, I haven't even.
You have got them, yeah.
The Marauders,
but
like, you messaged me during that because this game's version of the Valkyries.
I got unreasonably annoyed at one of them. Like, I just kept dying to it, and it was just really pissing me off. And it was like it probably was skill issue, but it didn't feel like skill issue. It didn't feel like I was making mistakes.
Yeah, like I hate it when a game feels like,
it's just punishing me.
Yeah, just it's not even a thing that you can like see that I did that wrong. I rolled at the wrong time. It just feels unfair, and I can't comment on that because obviously I haven't done that fight. But I don't like it when games do that.
I think the takeaway from this is that God of War didn't deserve any of its awards at the Game Awards, and we should give them all to Leon Kennedy.
The guy, just the man, Leon Kennedy.
Yeah, not the actor, not Capcom, not the team behind Resident Evil. No, we just give them all to actual Leon Kennedy.
That's fair. That is fair. I love the way that this has turned into a review of God of War Ragnarok. So what we can talk about then is, given you've given your opinions on what you've been doing with playing that game, have you been doing anything else this week? Anything else you've watched? Anything else you played?
You set up earlier, and I said if we had enough time that I'd talk about it, and we do have enough time, so I will get into it. Very briefly. I watched Black Adam because my copy of Pearl was region locked and I couldn't watch. That has to be like the lowest accolade for a film ever. I watched this film because the film I actually wanted to watch, I couldn't.
Fantastic stuff.
What did I think? I think I put in my review that it's on par with Ready Player One for one of the movies ever made.
No, don't do Ready Player One like that. To be fair, Ready Player One is pretty mediocre, but it's saved by all of it.
I don't hate Ready Player One. I think Ready Player One is an example of a film that is just there.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
It is completely middle. If you want a film that is just completely middle of the road, like the perfect sort of average barometer for a movie, it is Ready Player One. And this movie is also that. This movie is also just, if you want a film that is just the epitome of like average. It doesn't do anything drastically wrong, but it doesn't do anything right.
Yeah.
It just exists. And I feel like this is mainly just shitting on Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And it's not, his performance is it's alright. It's not the best bit of the film. I think the JSA are more interesting than Black Adam in his own movie. Especially though, I like Pierce Brosnan's doing a really good job. Hawkman was kind of just getting on my nerves a bit.
No.
But it just happened. I put it on, and it just happened. I watched it. It was a film. It was an isekai. again, because he was an ancient man and he's in the modern world, and he was sort of adjusting to that throughout the film. There was the funniest bit, and it's not even part of the film, is that it's revealed that he isn't the original champion of Kandak. That is the big twist. It was his son originally. And his son gave him the power of Black Adam to save him because he was like about to die, and then his son has died, and then he's using the power for revenge. But in all of these scenes where it's showing us before he becomes the champion, it's like Dwayne The Rock Johnson's head like CG'd onto like a normal person's body.
Oh.
I'll see if I can get a picture of it now whilst I'm just. But it's just the funniest thing because you can like clearly tell that it's not his body, because it's like, well, you know what Dwayne Johnson's body looked like. Like he's like chiseled, he's muscular, and it's just like this normal dude's body.
I imagine it looks really weird because of how much we're used to
The
Rock looking a certain way.
I just can't. There we go. I found it. I found a pretty good image of it. So it's going into the Discord now, just like the Batman photo did last week. And you can get Ash's live reactions to a photo of something I'm talking about.
Oh Christ! Let's have a look.
Like you can just tell. It's more like you can tell it's the Uncanny Valley because you know what he looks like normally.
Oh, yeah. Something feels off,
like
about
really
it.
wrong, doesn't it? Because it just looks like.
Is it his head? I think his head looks the wrong size for his body. I think it's something. Maybe it's that. You get what I mean?
Possibly. Yeah, I get what you mean. But like, whilst I was watching it, I could tell he was wrong.
Yeah, I suppose when you're used to it.
This film also has some like really like iffy CG, like more so than superhero movies.
Oh God.
But I was sitting there, Leo pointing me when the scene of him flying came on.
Of course.
Audibly fucking laughed at it because it's just so funny just seeing it in. There's like another scene in it where it's like it's playing like the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly theme, and he like fucking quick draws his lightning hands.
What?
It's just it's a weird. It's just a weird film to watch, and it's indicative of a larger trend of things I don't like, where you take a villain and you make him the hero of a movie.
Yeah.
Like they did it with Venom, and I'm not the biggest fan of Venom. They did it with Morbius, and Morbius fucking tanked.
Yeah. What do you mean? It's made $1 more billion.
It's highest grossing film of all time. I'm sorry. And then they've done it with this, and this was apparently meant to be the launch pad for the new DCU. And I said in my review, and I'll say it again, that I'm so fucking glad that it just wasn't.
Yeah.
Like,
it's such a.
I could not have. I said this was the exact quote from my review. I'll get it up now.
We will not be getting anything up in this. Thank you very much.
So, quote unquote from myself, I'm allowed to quote myself. I am the source. Source, it came to me in a dream. I'm definitely glad we didn't see how his DCU panned out, even if it meant losing Cavill as Superman. I honestly don't think I would have been invested in a cinematic universe with films at this quality.
Ooh, scathing review.
Like, I wouldn't have been invested in it. It's like I'm not invested in Marvel right now. You're just making these just boring films just about things that should be interesting. Like, superheroes are an interesting media. You can do it so well. We've seen it done well with James Gunn. James Gunn is pretty much like 0 for 5 on comic book projects.
Yeah. So,
if you do them well, I like them. Same with Star Wars. If you do the fan service well, I like it. I'm not a hater, as this episode would paint me out to be.
I know we have.
I've been absolutely. It's just if you do things well and if you do things right, and I don't presume to tell people how to do things well and do things right, and I don't presume that I tell you how to really just do this film better than it was. But if you just do things right and you do things well, they should be fun, and I shouldn't have reason to not like them.
Yeah. It's like our Shazam review last week. There were issues with them, but at the end of the day, it felt fun. It felt fun to watch.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Right. Was there anything that you?
Yeah.
You
so I actually want to bring it back to video games.
Video games.
So there's a game it's been out for a while now. That I played. I played it multiplayer. Played it with my girlfriend Liv. We played a little game called The Quarry. We actually did play The Quarry, and
oh wow!
Yeah, so we completed The Quarry. We finished it.
Completed it. Did you get everyone out?
So we got Jacob killed.
Jacob's the job.
Aquatat dude.
Yeah. I got Jacob killed.
He got killed because we didn't help him because we thought he's safe there in the electric fence. It's fine. There may be the werewolf.
You got him killed at the same point as me, but it was because I was too stupid to solve the puzzle.
Oh, did she turn off the electricity and he gets killed? Yes, that happened. That happened to us. And then I made the stupidest decision ever imaginable to mankind. And this is a skill issue on my part. I don't want to blame. This isn't even decision making. So, who would you say is your favorite character in that game? Or who would you say you actually quite like in that game?
I can't remember his name because it's been a while, but the one played by Justice Smith is pretty cool.
Yeah. Ryan. Yeah, I got him killed.
Aww.
So there's a part where shit hits the fan. There are 2 werewolves in a room. Ted Raimi's going off on one. And then there's one who is like one of the bads. I whiffed a shot. I whiffed the shot with a shotgun. I had it lined up. I was like, do I shoot? Because I didn't know if it was a good character who had turned into a werewolf or a bad character. And I was like, okay, do I shoot? And by the time I decided, I'm going to shoot, the werewolf moved. So as I pressed the trigger, the werewolf moved to the right. I missed the shot. And Ryan's face didn't exist anymore. And I'm really annoyed because apparently, if I had done that shot correctly and he had survived that, I would have actually encountered like the big thing that was like hinted at during the game of the white wolf.
You encountered the white wolf, I got the white wolf ending.
Missed that opportunity. So my ending was just, oh look, they shot a werewolf in the lodge, and that's it. And I was like,
the white wolf ending is the one where you kind of save everyone you can.
Yeah. So yeah, we got we started off really well, making good decisions, and then it just whiffed towards the end. And both of those characters that got killed were the characters that I was playing.
So I played it with my girlfriend as well around the time it came out, and we also got 2 characters killed. We got Jacob killed in exactly the same way as you, but like I said, it was because I was too stupid to figure out the puzzle, not because I just thought he'd be safe. The other one we got killed was Brenda Song's character. I think her name was Caitlin.
Really?
Yeah, and it was for the exact same, because I played all the male characters and my girlfriend played all the female characters.
Right, okay.
And it was for the exact same reason that you got Ryan killed, is that she whiffed a shot.
Where?
There was a werewolf coming towards her in the lodge.
Yeah.
And she wasn't expecting it to happen, and it was like a really quick time event, so she wasn't like paying the most attention to it. She's also not very good at aiming as it is. Sorry if you listen to this, but you're just not. So she was waiting for the werewolf to move itself naturally into the crosshair.
Oh no.
And by the time that the werewolf naturally moved itself into the crosshair, it was too late, and Caitlin was no more.
Oh shit, because was that close to the end?
It was close to the end, yeah.
Because I think basically Who was in the lodge at the time? Who were the characters that were in the lodge when that happened? Do you remember?
Oh no, I can't remember.
Because
The quote unquote bimbo chick, I'll call her that.
Okay, yeah.
The mean girl, let's say the dude that is played by Susan Sarandon's son.
Mm.
Ariel Winter.
Yeah.
I think that was it.
Yeah, so was that when you came up from the basement as those characters?
Yes.
Basically, my game ended at that point. We killed that werewolf, and the game ends there. We didn't end up killing Chris, so everyone was still werewolves. Fucking fantastic, isn't it? No, some people got turned back. I think Nick got turned back because we killed the one that was in the lodge, and that's Chris's son.
Yeah.
Caleb. So basically what it seems like is with that, you get just like a little bit on the end then with the White Wolf.
Yeah.
But no, I had a lot of fun with it.
It's a very fun game, and I think Supermassive Games, they do just make fun little horror movies that you get to play. Yeah.
It's like I've brought up the Dark Pictures before. I really enjoy the Dark Pictures.
I did really like that this one, like it felt a lot more accessible than the average Supermassive game.
Yeah.
Like the quick time events are all a lot easier.
Yeah, I did quite like the fact that when there was a quick time event, I wasn't shitting my pants constantly.
No.
But yeah.
It wasn't like watching Dark Pictures being played and being on the edge of my seat because literally just making a decision just wrong.
Yeah.
Just meant the end of just, and it was like Dark Pictures didn't have obvious ways to tell you were making the right or wrong decision.
Yeah. Definitely. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that, and that's like the main thing that we did the past week.
See, we're not completely haters. We enjoy some things.
Yeah, but bro, don't make your fucking things move in an unexpected way just before the end of a quick time event when I'm going to shoot.
Yeah.
Okay,
okay.
Stop.
Grow up.
That's my complaining.
Grow up, stop.
But yeah, so that's really all I have to say. Is there anything else?
I think I'm done for the episode too.
Yeah, so thank you everyone for listening. I'll leave it with our host to sign us off.
So thank you everyone for listening to this week's Something Simple podcast. I hope that we haven't offended everyone on the planet with me just being such an outright hater as I was this week.
Yeah.
I have been your host Ken, and I have been joined by Ken.
Oh.
And this has been the official Ken podcast. No Alan here, unfortunately.
Unfortunately not. But yeah, if you guys want to check us out anywhere else, there's our YouTube, which is Something Simple Pod, and our Twitter, which is Something Simps.
At Something Simps. Once again, feedback for the new format would be appreciated because we're still working out the kinks. We're still trying to work it out. We hope you tune in again next week for another episode.
Yeah, thank you everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Stay simple.
Stay simple.
That's on the record. I haven't watched the Secret Invasion trailer.
Jesus, I nearly drowned myself with lemon Fanta as soon as he started fucking recording. Oh my god. Christ.